Hello everyone, Mr. E here, reporting live for Darktide News Network, your most trusted source for all things Darktide, and of course Slop. Today brings some breaking news on the front for the 7th character class coming to Darktide. As I asserted some months ago, the class releases are not ending with the Arbites and the Hive Scum. They are intending to continue pushing these class releases out, and that has been confirmed again today with the data mining of another character archetype. Now this appears one time in this data mining. You can look at all of the archetype names here. As you can see, the original 4 classes are named exactly what they are, but we have code names for the other 3, well, other 2 and now 3. The Adamant being the Arbites, the Broker being the Hive Scum, and the Cryptic is the new potential 7th playable character class. So what does the Cryptic mean? Is there any connection to be drawn here? Well, as we established in my previous times of working on this, the Adamant can refer to the personality of the Arbites as well as his tanky nature within the gameplay function. That really fits with Adamant being like as strong as steel, as very steadfast, right? That really fits with the character. Broker is tied to the Hive Scum because it's a deal maker. He's a go-between. He's a sort of a fence for the criminal underworld to connect with the Morningstar. So that ended up sort of panning out there. But what does Cryptic mean here? Well, I think the thing we did last time, the thing we'll have to do again this time, is refer to the synonyms sheet, flashbang, sorry. The Cryptic synonym sheet here says that we have ambiguous, arcane, enigmatic, equivocal, incomprehensible, mysterious, strange, vague, and veiled. Now, so Cryptic means it has something to do with a mystery. So, confirmed, I am the 7th playable character class, guys. But this class has something to do with secrets, untold secrets, something occult, something that is a bit veiled to the typical person. That is what I would take it to mean. It could even mean arcane in the sense that this is not only a high knowledge character, whoever this is, whatever this is, it makes me think they know things, right? They are a knowledgeable character, and they might even have high technology or magic behind them. And that, I think, combining that with the real world pressures that we must know that Fat Shark is under, the obvious first guess would be something to do with the cult mechanicus, something like a tech priest. So I don't think it's too far out of the scope of reality to imagine that this is what this class could mean, that what Cryptic could mean. In fact, they even do use words such as the impenetrable mystery and arcana surrounding the mechanicum. Like, this is definitely within the verbiage here, and in fact, as we pry through and look for more fitting types for what would come to Darktide, I think we can even find stronger links. But let's pause right here and actually talk about how this would be brought to Darktide, because I have seen people, I mean, obviously, the rule of cool wins, always. But I've seen people saying that Tech Priests and Adeptus Mechanicus, they're too lofty of a title for what we've got going on in Darktide in the Morningstar. But that isn't necessarily true. There are lots of legions of the Adeptus Mechanicus that are regular infantry soldiers. They operate on the front line with the Astra Militarum, right? So these are not like revered in a lot of senses. So I also want you to remember that when we're considering what class is going to be added to Darktide, the number one consideration generally isn't, oh, is this like, you know, gonna be fitting with the lore? Is it gonna be like too powerful, whatever? The number one consideration for Fat Shark is they need to choose something that is not, how should I put this, protected within the lore. So if they were to include something from Adeptus Mechanicus, I believe they would stay very far away from Skitarii, because Skitarii have a very long established lore behind them, and that means that everything you do is under that much more scrutiny. in terms of making it fit exactly with the models on the tabletop, with the rulebooks, etc., which they always do a great job of, but it just makes their job so much harder. Which is why when we saw the Hive Scum is, first of all, named the Hive Scum and not the Necromunda Ganger. It is clearly cribbing a lot from Necromunda, but it is not on its face Necromunda, which means that they can skirt around that and be creative on their own. They're still even using masks and cosmetics from Necromunda miniatures, but without that labeling on there, it frees them up to be a little bit more creative on the backside. So that is something that you really have to consider here. So I think they'll go a little bit off of the beaten path. They'll go for something that's less represented in just general video games and generally on the tabletop. I think that they will go for something very much down to earth and grounded, and my number one pick here would be something like an Enginseer. An Enginseer is just pretty much an engineer who works on the front lines, helping maintain tech, helping maintain mechanical gear and weaponry with the Imperium of Man. And that's it. They are very notable because they do have those mechanical arms. This is like a classic addition to them, which I think would be an awesome thing to be able to customize that within Darktide and have it do different operations for you. But if we go to this page on the Enginseer and search for mystery, there it is again. To the soldiers of the Imperial Guard, an Enginseer is a mysterious figure, right? But within the Adeptus Mechanicus, he's just another cog, albeit a vital one. And again, here it describes Enginseers as engineer mystics, fully initiated members of the mysterious Adeptus Mechanicus and its cult. Well, we go back over here, and isn't Mystic? Yeah, there's Mystic right there as well. So there are a lot of ties here. I think that there are fully enough ties to make this the first best guess. Even with just the name that we have here, I would hazard that that is a pretty solid guess. It is high time that we get another magic-based class, a class that can really have some very different abilities as opposed to just hacking and slashing and shooting, albeit that stuff is very fun, but I think players are really yearning for more staff users or more magic power users that can really interact with the battlefield in a different way. So this would be a great time to push for this class, and this would be an absolutely massive thing, because remember, when this class will roll out, likely will be in the same slot this year as Arbites was last year. So you'll have Warhammer Skulls, and at Warhammer Skulls, that will be where they will be announcing this new class, one would have to assume, which would be absolutely incredible if that was when they would announce that they had Adeptus Mechanicus of some sort coming to Darktide. People would lose their damn minds. So that is all that I can bring you as far as what we know right now, guys. I've had my Enginseers and my tech priests looking over the code and trying to find any other instances of this showing up in there, but there literally is just one reference to it in the entire data mine file. So there really isn't too much out there right now, and if the trend follows from the past times, that is all there will be. It will be speculation plus just this one word leak. And I think that just knowing what I know and feeling how I feel, it would be silly of Fat Shark to turn down Adeptus Mechanicus fans, especially seeing how strongly the reaction was that it didn't come out this time. So yeah, that's where I'm putting my money. Let's call it now. I'll make more videos if more can be released, perhaps exploring the potential weapons that this class might use, or the potential archetypes. If you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments. Thanks again for watching. Remember to subscribe, support Mystery, and I guess this is Darktide News Network. Signing off. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.